everyone, welcome back to Teaching English for Young Learners online class. In today's lesson, we are going to learn the second chapter. It is about teaching listening to young learners. In this chapter, there are four major topics that will be discussed. The first topic is about what is listening. The second topic is about background to the teaching of listening. The third topic is about the development of listening skill. And the fourth topic is about classroom techniques and activities. Well, without any further ado, let's jump right into the first topic. The first topic is about what is listening. But before I explain about what is listening, let's differentiate between listening and hearing. So, hearing is different from listening. Hearing refers to the actual perception and processing of sound. In order to be able to listen in the class, children need to be able to hear. When a child is learning his or her native language, family members are able to scaffold and adjust the linguistic input that students receive. When we talk about language learning, we often talk about the four language skills. It is listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Listening and reading are receptive skills because the focus is on receiving information from an outside source. Meanwhile, speaking and writing are productive skills because the focus is on producing information. Well, by listening, children are preparing to replicate the sounds when they speak. In addition, listening comprehension skills can prepare students to develop their reading comprehension skills. So that's why listening can be called as a foundation for other skills. Well, after we know about listening, let's jump right into the second topic. It is about background to the teaching of listening. In this topic, we are going to learn about learning channels. So, what is learning channels? Well, learning channels are preferred ways that children can receive and process information. Teachers of young learners need to be familiar with the three main learning channels. It is auditory, visual, and tactile. So what is the differences between these three learning channels? Let's discuss the first learning channel. It is auditory. Well, auditory learners are better able to receive materials when it is presented in auditory format, such as listening to someone who reads story aloud. And then the second learning channel is visual. So we can say that visual learners are better able to receive material or to receive information when it is presented in images or pictures. And then the last is tactile. So tactile learners are better able to receive information or to receive material when they have physically manipulated or touched the information. So as a teachers of young learners, we need to give a comprehensible material for young learners, right? So that's why teachers of young learners, when presenting the material, they need to use these three learning channels. Well, after we learn about listening and background to the teaching of listening, let's jump right into the third topic. It is about the development of listening skills. So, when teaching listening, teachers of young learners need to consider the development of student listening skills. For instance, a child, a 5 years old native speaker who is not able to listen and to follow instruction is probably not going to be ready to learn academic content such as colors, numbers, shapes, days of week, sounds, and letters, and so on. So by being able to follow simple instruction, it is one of the foundation listening readiness skills that get children to develop other language skills. So there are statements that can help us to summarize the development of listening skills. These statements are, the first statement is you need to hear a word before you can say it, and then you need to say a word before you can write it, before you can read it. And then the last statement is about you need to read a word before you can write it. Well, I think this is enough for me to explain about the development of listening skills. So now let's jump right into the last topic. It is about classroom activities and classroom techniques. Well, let's learn about the last topic. It is about classroom techniques and classroom activities. So when teaching listening, teachers of young learners need to consider several activities that can be used in English for young learners classroom. Imagine that you are a teacher of young learners and you want to teach listening. So there are so many activities that can be used, but however, I just want to explain only 5 activities. The first activities is TPR. The second activities is TPR song and finger plays. The third activities is TPR drawing. The fourth activities is TPR storytelling, and the last activities is minimal pairs. So let's explain the first activities. It is TPR. So what is TPR? TPR is total physical response. In these activities, teacher can give a simple instruction and student can follow the instruction. For instance, a teacher can use Simon Says game. Simon Says, imagine that I am a teacher and you are students. Simon say stand up, and then all students can follow the instruction by standing up. So this is kind of total physical response. By doing this, it is important that teachers can practice the listening skills of students. And then, so how about the second activity? It is TPR song or TPR finger play. Maybe you are all know and familiar with TPR song, as we know that TPR can be combined with song and finger play. I would like to give you some example. It's just like this finger play, finger songs. Just like this. Where is your thumb? Where is your thumb? This is my thumb. This is my thumb. How are you, my best friend? I'm fine, thank you. Hide and please, hide and please. So that was a kind of TPR finger play. And then you can also use other song. It depends on the materials that you would like to explain, or if you want to teach about part of body, you can use this sound. Head, shoulder, this antus, this antus. That was the sound. So how about the third activities? It is TPR storytelling. So TPR also can be combined with storytelling. So how to teach listening skill in the class using TPR storytelling? Imagine that you are a teacher, and again it depends on the materials that you would like to teach to the student. For example, you have one story, and in this TPR storytelling you can use media such as puppets, and you already have a story, right? And then you can ask two students to in front of the class to act as a character of the story. For example, the Lion King. And then you already have a story. Remember that the story must be consist of the simple sentences, right? And then you can ask the student in front of the class, whereas other student as an audience, you can read the story. For example, the lion runs away, and then the student who hold a puppet as a lion can move the puppet as an action that a lion run, right? So you can develop this kind of activities. Again, it depends on the materials, and it depends on the material, and it depends on the media that you can use in TPR storytelling. So how about the 4 activities? It is TPR drawing. So as the name TPR drawing, in these activities it same as TPR, but you can instruct your student to hold the paper, and then to prepare some coloring, and then again you have to give a simple instruction. For example, student, please draw a circle in your paper, and then student can follow the instruction by drawing a circle in the paper. And then student, please draw 2 eyes inside the circle, and then student can follow the instruction by drawing 2 circles by drawing 2 eyes inside the circle. And then teachers can ask, you can coloring the eyes with the color you want. So that was the kind of TPR drawing activities. So what about the last activities? It is about minimal pairs. So the first thing that we have to know is about what is minimal pairs. Minimal pairs is 2 words that differs only one sound. For instance, word sheep, kapal selam, and sheep, domba. So these 2 words is only differs in one sound. So how to teach student to listen this kind of minimal pairs? So in these activities, teachers can use so many medias. It depends on the materials that teachers give. I would like to give you an example. Teachers can use flashcard, and then in the flashcard there are 2 words that differs in only one sound, just like I given. It is sheep and sheep. So in these activities, teachers can ask students to practice in front of the class how to pronounce and how to listen and how to differentiate these 2 words. So I think it's enough for me to deliver these 2nd chapters. I hope that you learned something. Thank you for attention, and see you on another lesson.